Hey there, it's been a while. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be grateful to you.
Carter rehires Steffi at Forrester Creations, and Lee gets the results of the paternity test. Will pays a visit to Bill. Eric gets all worked up about Steffi's plans, and Brooke is convinced that Steffi will get Ridge to come back on The Bold and the Beautiful today. Steffi reassures her family at the Forrester mansion that her plan would be successful. Ridge inquires as to whether or not she managed to persuade the CEO. Steffi claims that Hope and Brooke will pose a challenge, but she remains unconcerned about it. According to Eric, it's going to be tough. Steffi is aware that they are not innocent and is attempting to determine her reason. She has to believe she's convinced them. This is not the way to go down. Forrester Creations is ours and I want to get it back. Brooke, Hope, and Carter debate the merits of rehiring Steffi at Forrester. Hope gripes about her actions leading up to her departure. How can we trust her? Carter reminds them he asked Steffi and Ridge to stay on. How can he tell her no now that she's changed her mind? Brooke says he's right, they can't really prevent her from coming back. Hope thinks Carter can, he's the manager of the LLC. Steffi has the ability to ruin his ambitions. At the hospital, Lee takes a portion of Tom Starr's liver and places it in a petri dish. She studies it under a microscope and contemplates, Tom Starr, are you Luna's father? At Bill's apartment, Luna reads through Great Expectations and then puts it down, so predictable. She no sooner rests on the sofa for a sleep than Bill runs in and tells her Will's at the gate. He can't see you. He implores her to move it, so she hightails it out of the living room and hides. Will comes in and Bill greets him heartily. Will asks if he always hangs around in the foyer. It's odd. Luna smiles as he says, is everything all right with you, Dad? Bill invites his son to sit down and asks, to what do I owe the pleasure? Will replies Liam indicated that he's been working from home a lot. It's not like him to be gone from his office. He notices the books on the coffee table and suggests he's processing that's transpired in the last couple of months. Bill taunts that he sounds like his mother and says he's all right. Will asks, okay, but what about Luna? Bill tells his son he doesn't have to bring her up. Will knows that affected him, he was thrilled about having a daughter. He's delighted that wasn't the case. Can you imagine having to handle all that right now? Bill tells Will he doesn't need to bring her up. I don't ever need to think about Luna again. At the hospital, Lee phones down to the lab about her paternity test and then picks up a vial of blood and holds it in her hand. Later, she comes to the office with a box labeled as a DNA test kit and puts on her gloves. Taking a swab from the liver and the blood sample, Lee runs the DNA test. At Forrester, Carter, Brooke, and Hope continue to debate if Steffi can be trusted. Brooke's not sure, but she feels they should give her an opportunity to show herself. Maybe she'll encourage the others to return as well. Hope understands she means Ridge and questions her mom. Brooke feels they need to give Steffi a chance and pleads to Carter. He picks up his phone and calls Steffi to tell her they'd like her to come to Forrester. At the mansion, Steffi disconnects with Carter and tells Ridge and Eric, they want to see me. She's sure if their answer was no, they wouldn't ask to see her. Eric warns her to be wary. He's afraid what these traitors might have up their sleeve. Steffi reassures him. She refuses to let them take his company from him. They've forgotten how powerful the Stephanie Forrester genes are. They're in my DNA. Ridge and Eric beam as she walks out. Ridge confesses it concerns him not knowing what she's up to, but he trusts her. She's a force of nature and somehow, he helped raise her. Eric responds, she's going to do it, Ridge. If anybody can save our firm, it's Steffi Forrester. At Forrester, Carter tells Brooke and Hope that Steffi should be there shortly. He wants to know what Hope is thinking. She doesn't think it's the greatest move for the firm he envisioned, but the decision lies with him, and I trust you. Eventually, Steffi comes and Carter thanks her for coming back. She thanks him for contemplating her offer and assumes he's made a decision. Carter answers, we have. He knows she doesn't believe his intentions for taking over weren't pure, but they were. He injured her, and he fights with that, but he wants her to reflect about how she treated Hope and the Logans in the past. She dismissed her and embarrassed her. He can only fathom how she feels for him, but here she is yearning to return to Forrester. Steffi nods, as president. She realizes it's been a difficult situation. She doesn't like it, but she's pragmatic. The company is too vital to simply walk away. Steffi recognizes who has the power and control, and there's nothing she can do about it. She can add a lot to the organization and doesn't need to be liked. She'll do what needs to be done. You know that's true. So Carter, is it a yes or a no? Do we have a deal? Carter walks over and says, "Welcome back, Steffi." They shake hands and he warns her not to make him regret this. She won't. This feels right for me. For Forrester. She'll help make Forrester everything it's meant to be. Steffi will succeed and nothing will stop her. At Bill's apartment, Will persists with his line of questioning about Luna. Bill tells him he's gone past it and is moving toward the future. Will reveals that when Liam told him he was spending time away from the business, he assumed there was going to be a new woman in his life. At the hospital, Lee flashes back to Luna confessing to her. The timer goes off and she murmurs, "The moment of truth." She checks the DNA test and her expression collapses. Next on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi presents Daphne to Ridge, and Lee confronts Poppy. As Bold and Beautiful's Jack returns, Ted King teases a lot of mayhem in his wake. Jack is back. Those are the words Ted King shared over on Instagram, announcing his return to The Bold and the Beautiful over the next few days.
The scenes were shot back before the wildfires started tearing through Los Angeles, and, we're guessing, before the holidays as the show just returned after a 4-week hiatus. As to what gets Jack back around, King only guaranteed that a lot of mayhem will ensue on your screens over the next few days. And considering the time of his return, we're already starting to envision precisely what that mayhem may involve. Because the last time Jack popped up during the summer, Hollis ended up dead. We ultimately learned that Luna murdered both him and her dad, Tom, but now, well, Bill sprung the crazy young woman from jail and keeps probing her for details about her killings. On top of that, Lee just ran a DNA test to verify if Tom actually was Luna's father. And she doesn't look pleased with the results. And that's got us thinking, is the program looking for a method to clear Luna's name? Maybe she took the fall for someone else, or is simply delusional and nearly misled herself into thinking she murdered 2 people. If she didn't kill Tom and Hollis, though, that leaves everything wide open as to who truly did. And at one time, Jack was at the top of our list of suspects. He was, after all, quite fond of both Luna and her mom. And we believed an affair between him and Poppy may have resulted in Luna. If Wednesday's paternity test means that Lee finds out that Tom isn't Luna's dad just as Jack returns, well, that's quite suspicious. Could Jack be the actual murderer of both Tom and Hollis? Was he only trying to conceal up Luna's genuine paternity? Is he coming back because he heard Luna's free and he's afraid about the truth coming out? Or is there something else going on entirely? Poppy forced into paternity confession. Steffi lets Ridge meet Daphne. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest that Lee Finnegan will rage now that she's taken a look at the findings of Luna Nozawa's recent paternity test. Based on Lee's face, it's obvious to understand that Tom Star isn't Luna's father. Of course, this will lead to Lee wondering over who Luna's bio dad truly is. And she'll arrive to one infuriating conclusion. Lee will assume Jack Finnegan is Luna's father instead. So she'll invite Poppy Nozawa for a passionate showdown. We'll see Lee fling accusations about and try to get Poppy to confirm that she had an affair with Jack. Perhaps part of Lee always suspected that Poppy betrayed her with her own husband since Jack and Poppy had such a strong connection. Poppy looks guilt-ridden in BNB's weekly preview video. So she may end up blurting out a confession and say she never meant for all of this to happen. Lee won't be interested in Poppy's excuses and will fly into a rage like never before. However, maybe we should leave the door open for even another twist if John Finnegan turns out to be Luna's genetic dad instead. That would be gross considering Poppy is Finn's adoptive aunt, but there have been comments of how close she was with Finn around the time Luna was conceived. Poppy would prefer have Lee thinking Jack is the father over Finn, so there's the opportunity for additional lying. That said, there have been so many paternity rewrites already. It'd be wonderful for the show to just take the simplest path for once and make Luna Jack's daughter, which would also make her Finn's half-sister. No matter how the rest of this tale plays out, there's guaranteed to be loads of Nozawa family turmoil. Other bold and the beautiful teasers suggest Steffi Forrester will offer Ridge Forrester updates on some good news since Carter Walton formally welcomed her back to Forrester Creations. That element of Steffi's plan is accomplished, so she'll be able to focus on Daphne Rose's part next. Steffi will introduce Ridge to Daphne in the episode and spell out the intricacies of her plot, so Ridge may be thrilled about her ace in the hole. Our forecasts indicate to Steffi's narrative coming with some curveballs, so keep alert for any snags that might develop along the way. The Bold and the Beautiful's Ted King previews a lot of mayhem as Jack Finnegan returns to BNB. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that an exciting comeback is in store for fans, and it follows on the heels of Lee Finnegan's fresh paternity test for Luna Nozawa. Following Lee's meeting with Poppy Nozawa and suspicions that Jack Finnegan is truly Luna's father, Jack will make a huge reappearance. It won't be long until Jack is part of some explosive drama on Canvas. On Instagram, Ted King confirmed his imminent comeback and offered a hint about the turmoil that's brewing. It sounds like some wonderful things is on the way now that Luna's paternity narrative is swinging in another direction. So grateful Jack is back. A lot of mayhem will happen on your screens during the next few days. Happy we were able to capture these sequences before the current Los Angeles calamities. At Bold and Beautifolks at CBSDV # Jack's back at Grateful, of course. Luna's paternity mystery has been a long and winding road. Will Jack really come out to be Luna's biological father? Or might there be an even more startling daddy candidate? The show's left the door open for John Finnegan to potentially be Luna's bio dad. So that's something we at least have to consider. That again, it's also possible that Jack is genuinely the paternity explanation that supporters have been waiting for all these time. Either way, Jack will get back in the mix for a spell. So that's wonderful news. Ted King is a superb actor who always brings lots of talent to the table when he pops up for repeat stints. Would you like to see more of Jack moving forward? Could a new relationship be brewing for Jack someday down the line? No matter what the future holds for Jack, it's apparent that there's plenty more turbulence to come on the CBS serial. Luna will soon get updates on a significant DNA revelation, as Tom Starr isn't the man behind her conception after all. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers claim Jack's comeback will undoubtedly change things up, so we'll provide more predictions on all the family blow-ups. BNB early week spoilers January 20th to 24th. Luna exposed, Steffi's secret, Taylor's fierce face-off. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of January 20th, 2025 are here. Next week, fans may expect Luna Nozawa to be exposed. That will have Bill Spencer facing blowback. Plus, Steffi Forrester Finnegan makes some more devious moves. Also, Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan face battle. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Steffi Forrester Finnegan's secret BNB spoilers for next week suggest that Steffi begged for her job back, while Carter Walton and Hope Logan haven't provided their answer yet. Steffi will undoubtedly obtain some kind of position. Carter and Hope will be dubious about Steffi's actual motives. However, Steffi might be right that Carter and Hope won't see Daphne Rose approaching. B&B spoilers. Taylor Hayes face-off during the week of January 20th. Anticipate Taylor and Brooke to continue facing off. That begins at the end of the week of January 13th. So expect Monday to follow up with Friday's cliffhanger. Despite Brooke attempting her best to do the right thing, Ridge Forrester can only base decisions on what he knows. Since Brooke doesn't have a clear plan, it actually does look deceiving to Ridge. So Ridge will continue to perceive Brooke as a traitor and presumably tries to seal the deal with Taylor. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Lee Finnegan's consequences. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for next week hint that there should be some consequences after Lee Finnegan tests Tom Starr's liver. There is likely evidence that Tom wasn't Luna's real father. However, April also seems a touch too eager to help Lee. So may April have some type of purpose to prohibit the truth from coming out. In any case, Lee bursts at Penelope Poppy Nozawa over the facts. Lee learns that her own ex-husband, Jack Finnegan, is Luna's bio dad. B&B spoilers. Week of January 20th, 2025. Once Poppy's secret comes out, that might lead to a visit to the prison. However, Luna won't be there. If Poppy is paying for the lawyers that were working on Luna's appeal, then she may demand to know where her daughter was transferred to. When they give Poppy the address that could expose Bill's secret, that will bring a whole lot of backlash. Plus, with Luna eyeing Will Spencer, Bill's misstep might be dangerous. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. The shocking truth revealed. So many secrets and lies in this week's The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Steffi wants to come back to work, but Hope is naturally suspicious. Luna continues playing Bill. And Lee loses her fury when she finds the truth about Poppy's baby daddy. Having thrown Daphne in the mix at Forrester Creations, Steffi puts the next stage of her plan in motion by declaring her desire to return to the family firm. You want to come back to work? Hope asks warily. Steffi reminds Hope and Carter about the offer they made when they first launched their hostile takeover of Forrester. Well, you said I was welcome to stay on board, she argues. But Hope isn't sure if Steffi just wanted some time apart to lick her wounds or devise a plan to take the firm back. Why the change of heart? The blonde asks. What's really going on? Bill has brought another criminal into his home, and Luna could prove to be much more deadly than Sheila was. Living with him under house detention, the young woman continues expressing her thanks to Bill. You're such a generous man, Luna proclaims. It's one of the reasons why I wanted you to be my dad. But is Luna playing Bill here, or is Bill playing Luna? What's actually going on? Speaking of Luna's dad, she was so terrified that it was Tom Starr that she murdered the guy so he couldn't claim paternity and ruin the life she was establishing with Bill. However, it now emerges that Tom wasn't even Luna's father in the first place. Tell me the truth. Lee angrily shouts at Poppy. Jack. He is Luna's father. You deceived me with my own husband. If that's true, this whole family situation just got a lot messy, eh? Lee demands the whole truth from Poppy. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Should Lee Nozawa brace herself? Now that Lee Finnegan knows for sure that Tom Starr isn't Luna Nozawa's father. She brings Poppy Nozawa back into her office for a chat. She is sure that Poppy has always known who Luna's dad was, and demands that she give her an explanation. As Lee tries to coax the truth out of Poppy, the tale Poppy recounts leads Lee to only one conclusion. Jack Finnegan has to be Luna's father. Lee can't believe her own sister betrayed her with her husband. Not only that, but her unfaithful husband created yet another child with a woman who is not Lee. Is Lee leaping to the correct conclusion? Or is there more to this narrative that Poppy is leaving out? Fans have not forgotten that John Finnegan claimed to have a good old time with Poppy on his holidays from college. He never mentions sleeping with his adopted aunt, although it may have happened. If that is the case, Steffi Forrester Finnegan's life is about to change in ways she never dreamed. And this time, it has nothing to do with business. B&B spoilers. Ridge Forrester meets Daphne Rose. Ridge Forrester finally learns what Steffi has been up to when Steffi introduces her dad to Daphne Rose. Daphne's job is to enter Forrester Creations and seduce Carter Walton. Daphne can offer them the intel that they need, as well as ruin hope and her heart. Steffi is also infiltrating the new team and is going to be working for her own company again. However, this time she has to answer to Brooke Logan, the previous stepmother that she loathes. Ridge is a little wary of Steffi's plans, but he is still curious as Daphne Rose is quite a fascinating woman. Will Daphne also set her sights on Ridge? Something Steffi won't appreciate at all.
Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.